A lot of what you hear about regarding New York's plans along the sustainability front are based on population estimates, projections, and all of those things have their basis in the census. We no longer can afford the cost of not getting it right. Ill-informed decisions result in wasteful spending, something no government in the nation can afford to do in these critical times. To drive this point home, what I thought I would offer you today is an illustration that involves access to health insurance. HealthStat is similar in that it uses data to identify and target persons who are eligible for public insurance but not enrolled. The calculations for the total eligible population are based on computations that we make using census data. Data on marital status, family size, income, and other census information are all used to determine eligibility. As a result of this program, the HealthStat initiative has been able to focus its resources on selected areas of the city. Now, why is that important? Because New York City has 8.3 million people and covers an area of 305 square miles in the 5 boroughs. There is no way we could do this without a targeted approach. Let me address another issue that we've all heard about, the issue of undercount. When thinking about the word undercount, what comes to mind first is the idea that people are missed and that the population of an area is too low. While certainly true, the effects of undercount can be far more insidious. When people are not counted, these attributes get distorted, and we get too few males in the young working ages, too few children of a very young age who are below poverty, too few renters who are members of minority groups. We miss immigrants, especially many of the newly arrived immigrants. Our ability to estimate is put out of sync with what is actually on the ground. This can lead to a gross underestimation of the magnitude of a problem, and most importantly, of the budget required to address a problem. What you see in this map, in this slide, is a map of New York City's 2,200 census tracts, small geographic areas that form the template of city neighborhoods, shaded by their response rates, defined as the percent of households that mail back census questionnaires. The darkest areas of the map are places where the responses were the lowest, with these darkest areas showing response rates of less than 40%. The city average was 55%, the national average was about 66%. People in these neighborhoods and other low-response areas nationally were reluctant to respond for a number of reasons, including logistical hurdles, for example, language barriers, apartment address problems, fear of government, documented or undocumented immigrants who are intimidated by governmental authorities, mistrust of government, so, for example, issues involving fraud and the privacy breaches that we hear about on a regular basis. Generally speaking, when a response rate is low, there is a real danger that the accuracy of the count and of the characteristics of the population will be compromised. It takes an expensive, labor-intensive effort to get people in these neighborhoods enumerated. This is because as much as 2/3 of the data collected in the census must be done door-to-door in these places in an operation called non-response follow-up.